I didn't hear anything. Are we good? Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the City of Warrenville City Council regular meeting for Monday, October 16th, 2023. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Ashour.
Here.
Alderman Augustinovich.
Here.
Alderman Berry.
Here.
Alderman Davalos.
Here.
Alderman Kruckenberg.
Here.
Alderman Lockett.
Here.
Alderman Widener.
Here.
And Alderman Wilkie.
Here.
Very good, thank you. Please stand as you are able and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is the part of our program that we reserve for citizens' comments. I see we have one person signed up this evening, Mr. Bob Siebert. Bob?
Bob Siebert, Albright Court. I have a copy of the Warrenville Digest from February 19th, 2004. This was the first reading of the Home Rule Ordinance. And it states here, whereas the mayor and city council believe and hereby declare that it is the best interest of the city and its residents to adopt a policy with respect to property taxes and property tax reduction in the event the city becomes a home rule municipality. Fairly clear on the objective of identifying property tax and property tax reductions. Section 2, in the event the city becomes a home rule municipality, it shall be the policy of the city to levy property taxes in the same amount and to the same extent as if the city had not become home rule. Then comes Section 3, which to me is the most critical. In the event the city becomes a home rule municipality, it shall be the policy of the city to consider property tax reductions or tax abatements when the home rule sales tax begins to generate revenue to the city. Currently, this revenue is in the $1.6 million range. One question needs to be addressed. Why did the city of Warrenville include Section 3 in this ordinance if the city of Warrenville had no intention of issuing some of the home rule sales tax revenue for property tax reduction?
Thank you, Bob. Anyone else who wishes to speak tonight? All right, we'll move on to official and staff comments. I have nothing. Clerk? Treasurer?
I wanted to say a few things tonight about sales taxes. The sales tax in Warrenville is 8.25%, of which 6.25% comes from the state, 1.25% from the city, and then 0.75% for the RTA. And a third of the RTA taxes go to the county for transportation needs. On food and medicine, it's 1.75%, which is 1% of the state tax and the 0.75% from the RTA. Now, I've been in communication with a resident recently who subscribes to a magazine, and for the first time this year, he saw a Warrenville sales tax on his magazine subscription, and he thought that was wrong historically. I think in most jurisdictions, there's no tax on periodicals and magazines and things because of the freedom of the press and so forth. So our finance department contacted the Illinois Department of Revenue to look into this, and they answered that if it's a magazine, indeed there's no sales tax on it. However, if there's any tangible property, and sometimes when you think you're subscribing to a magazine, you're joining an organization which sends you a magazine, and they may send you a T-shirt or a coffee cup or something like that. And in that case, there could be sales tax involved. Recently, from July 1st of 2022 to June 30th of 2023, the 1% state sales tax on food and medicine was reduced to zero as part of the state budget, and that expired. At the legislative session of the Illinois Municipal League, there was bipartisan interest in making that reduction permanent. Now, that money actually goes to municipalities, and that was covered for the last fiscal year out of the general fund from the state. If they're going to make this permanent, they're going to have to find the revenue. Last year there was a surplus in the general fund. Find the revenue to do that. So that'll be something that's probably going to be debated in the next legislative session. And if anyone has any opinions, they should contact their state legislature. When you go to the grocery store, you get a receipt that has to be coded. Of course, every store uses a different set of codes, but it has to be coded as to whether you're paying the 8.25% or the 1.75%. And actually, I ran into a while ago a case where I was over at Target, and I bought some Simply orange juice and some Simply lime juice. And the orange juice was at the lower tax rate, and the lime juice was at the higher tax rate. So I went to the desk and asked them what was going on, and they gave me some convoluted answer, which I concluded afterwards they didn't know. They said it had something to do with who the manufacturer was or something. So finally I spent some time on the state website to actually figure out what qualifies for the the lower food sales tax. And it's really quite complicated. You'll find a lot of drinks that you think of as food just don't count as food. But when we went to the store, about 90% of the things qualify for the food thing. There was also last year a reduction, a 10-day sales tax holiday for school supplies in the beginning of August in 2022. This year they didn't do that again. But I actually feel sorry for all the merchants who have to keep track of all these different things. And, it comes automatically with the software. And I'm guessing that the thing that got me started, this tax on the magazine, was them using some new software that caught some things that maybe weren't caught before. But anyway, it really is a complicated thing. Thanks.
Thank you. Alderman. City Administrator? City Attorney? All right, very good. We'll move on to the approval of the agenda for this evening. Alderman Widener, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I motion to approve the consent agenda for the October 16th, 2023 City Council regular meeting.
Second.
Second by Alderman Davalos. Any changes or comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The agenda is approved as presented. We have a couple of sets of minutes that need approval also, actually 5 sets, I guess. Alderman Widener again, please.
Yes, thank you. A motion to approve the minutes of the October 2nd, 2023 City Council regular meeting, to approve the minutes of the October 9th, 2023 Public Works and Infrastructure Committee meeting, to approve the minutes of the September 18th, 2023 City Council closed session, to approve the minutes of the October 2nd, 2023 City Council closed session number 1, and finally, to approve the minutes of the October 2nd, 2023 City Council closed session number 2.
Second.
Second by Alderman Lockett. Any discussion of those minutes? Again, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The minutes are approved as presented. The consent agenda for this evening, item 6A. Accept staff recommendation, waive second reading and approve ordinance 02023-42, amending City Code Title 3, Chapter 2 to increase the number of Class A2 liquor licenses from 7 to 8. B, accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation and pass resolution R2023-58, approving addendum number 1 and addendum number 2 to the professional services agreement with Baycor Group Incorporated for software selection consulting services. C, accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation and assign Alderman Lockett and Alderman Augustinovich to work with city staff to develop a recommendation for the Veterans Memorial renovation. D, receive and file report of invoices paid up to October 11th, 2023 in the amount of $46,913.17. E, authorize expenditures for invoices due on or before November 6, 2023 in the amount of $1,038,634.61. And F, receive and file report of master debit card expenditures for the month of September 2023 in the amount of $19,451.35. Alderman Widener?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented by Mayor David Brummel.
Second.
Second by Alderman Krockenberg. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Lockett,
Aye.
Alderman Wilkie,
Aye.
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Widener,
Aye.
Alderman Ashour,
Aye.
Alderman Krokenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Augustinovich.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. The consent agenda is approved as presented. We have one item under the regular agenda. Would someone like to make that motion, please? Alderman Berry?
I'd like to make a motion to accept staff recommendation and approve the request to solicit donations of items to use for an employee raffle for the annual Employee Benefits Fair on November 9th, 2023.
Second.
Second by Alderman Lockett. And presentation will look to our Assistant City Administrator, Alma Morgan. Alma?
Thank you and good evening. This year, the city will be hosting its 6th annual Employee Benefits Fair, which is scheduled to take place on Thursday, November 9th. The annual Employee Benefits Fair is a significant event where employees are able to learn valuable information about the benefits and services that they can receive and sign up for during annual enrollment or open enrollment. In the past, vendors that attend those events, such as Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, or dental services, they'll bring items to give away to the employees at their tables to encourage them to come over and to learn about the benefits that are available to them. This year, we have new administration staff that excitedly reached out to local Warrenville vendors to solicit donations for this event without the knowledge of the city's existing solicitation policy. So in order to remain compliant with the city's solicitation policy and also with the city's ethics policy, I am presenting a request to you this evening to authorize city staff to solicit local businesses in Warrenville for donations to raffle off to our employees for this benefits fair year. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, seems clear to me that we need to do that. Any questions or comments? Alderman Widener?
Yeah, I just wonder whether we'll be going to the same well as we do for some of the other sponsorships, National Night Out and some of the other events that we seek vendor support on.
I'm sorry.
Whether we'll be going to the same businesses that we rely on for donations for events like National Night Out and some of the other community events that we seek to acquire sponsorships from.
Yes, I can have our administration staff obtain those lists from the other employees to make sure that it's equal across those requests. So for example, some of the businesses that she excitedly reached out to was Two Brothers. There were more restaurants that she reached out to, but I can certainly obtain that list to make sure that it's equal and fair across the board.
I just hope that that doesn't impact their willingness to donate to the other community events, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
Okay.
understand. Mhm.
All right, thank you.
Alderman Berry.
How will these items that you're getting from businesses, how are they going to be used for this employee event? I mean, do they win something and that's how they get it? Because I can understand where a vendor would come in and pass out, small gifts,
Yes.
tchotchkes, we call them, and stuff like that. But I don't understand what you're doing with these items.
The items, we typically don't reach out to local Warrenville businesses, so this is the first time that this happened. The thought process behind this particular event was to encourage more employees to attend, to increase participation. For the last several years, I would say we had probably about a third of the employees attending this event, and it really is an opportunity for them to really learn about the benefits that they have available to them. So the thought was that if there is an advertisement that if you attend, your name will be thrown into a basket or a ticket will be thrown into a basket for you to be able to have an opportunity to win this prize, but you need to come to the benefits fair to learn about what is available for you.
Okay.
All right, any other questions or comments? Looks like we're good. We have a motion and a second. I believe, do we need a roll call for this? Or just a voice vote?
Voice vote is fine.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Alma.
Thank you.
Okay. I see the look of disappointment on everyone's face. There's nothing else to do except Alderman Lockett.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for your attention this evening. See you next time.